crack one of these open.
Hey. We're counting down. No talking, man.
Let's go.
So you're recording again?
Well, if I was, I wouldn't be able to have a
Who's playing tonight? The Knicks?
Of course they are, man. That's
How many points you got?
well, you don't talk betting lines.
How about Brunson? How many points?
36. Play the over. Tell him Richie Q.
Wait,
sent
who
you.
do they play
the
tonight?
I'm doing it right now.
Who do they play tonight?
36, huh?
over. All right, we're good.
I hope he comes back.
Should we get him on here?
Yes.
All right, welcome to another edition of Running with the Breaks with Q. We are at our wonderful, familiar spot, Joe's Surf Shack, and of course, powered by Get Ready with T3 Brooks Bourbon. Rich Quinones here, voice of the Breaks, and look at this. We get some airtime with the owners right here, and I know they're not 3 Brooks deep or, Get Ready with T, Erik Gaines, Rich Gardella. What's going on, boys? You always look like you get gun shy when you get in front of that microphone.
Let me make myself look a little bit more presentable.
Much better.
Things are well.
Yeah? Erik, what's going on, brother?
Hanging, man. Appreciate the opportunity to be on for a few minutes and hang.
Well, I'll tell you, it's, this is a familiar spot. We're going to have a bunch of guests, a lot of community partners, community leaders that are kind of buying into what you guys have built over the last several months. We are set pretty much right around the corner for season number 2, and I feel as though it's been a whirlwind over the last several months, not only, getting the roster, which is still a work in progress, sponsorships, partnerships, venue, the last several months. I mean, it's got to be a warp speed for you guys, right?
Yeah, it's been definitely some challenging moments for sure, to say the least, but we are super excited, right? We've officially locked in 14 community partners for the season, so a bunch of nonprofits throughout the state of New Jersey, which we couldn't be more happier about. We have 2 more that we're working on, hopefully to add in the next couple months, but we're looking to hopefully support them while they support us and build out this brand the right way, throughout New Jersey.
You're starting to see a little more of the buzz after season number 1. You guys came on a little late to the party, so to speak, and then kind of calmed and settled the waters. I know this is something you and I have talked about on numerous occasions, but I feel like there's a nice little buzz within this area when we talk about hoops and, of course, the breaks.
I really just want to talk about how we beat the Flying Cows again, because that was a really special moment for me. That was the
Community
number 1
Day
team in the country. I remember reading it on Instagram, seeing it on Instagram that week, and I was like, oh my goodness, they're number 1, and we're like 26, I think it was, or 24 at the time,
yeah,
right?
For
and
sure.
And we came to the gym that night. It was like the first community night, right?
That's exactly what I was
And,
going to say. Yep.
and I just felt like the vibe was right in the gym. We had a lot of people there. It was really interesting to see the level of play in that gym. I think there are still people that doubt the level of play that comes to that gym. And they're like, oh, TBL, what's that, right? No, it's actually some really, really talented basketball players.
I thought the uniqueness of that game not only was the crowd, right, and the atmosphere, but just as you mentioned, they were undefeated to snap the long losing streak, by the way, right? And I think it kind of catapulted the team to finish off the season strong. And we've had some really nice turnouts for some of these tryouts too over the last several weeks. I mean, now you guys are making it where it's almost like the call to action is, no, we don't need you, you need us. Like, you want to be a part of what we're trying to build.
Yeah, I think, for the most part, we've had 30 plus people at the last few tryouts. We are now in our first, round of, eliminating some prospects at this point and try and narrow it down to see where we're going to go for training camp.
Easy, by the way, which is not easy.
These conversations that we're going to have, we're going to cut players that I feel like deserve to play in this league. There's no question about it. And, I think we're now looking for who's going to fit the brand the right way of what we're trying to build for the future.
So just for a second, you mentioned the brand and what you guys are trying to build for the future. I personally, it's great if these guys can go on the floor and ball out, but I get the sense with you guys that you're looking, more than just having that athletic ability on the floor, right? Character guys, get involved with the community, have that personality, be engaging. I think that goes a long way.
Yeah, good, Rich.
We had a guy last year, not mentioning any names, but great basketball player, just not the best attitude. And it wasn't a good fit for our program. It was time to, make a decision, and we made that tough decision, and now we're moving on. But I can tell you, and just going back to the fact that you brought up tryouts. I'm super busy at the body shop, and I haven't had a lot of time to spend early in the morning at the tryouts. So I walked in there about 11 o'clock. It was 2 weeks ago now.
Yep.
And I couldn't. I grew up there. I grew up watching basketball games in St. Rose being played by the JSBL. Right, JSBL was like the everything about basketball on the Jersey Shore when I was a kid. And to walk in that gym and go, oh my goodness, I don't think there was a JSBL team in history that can compete against the guys I'm seeing on the floor right now. Tough, gritty. We have an option to get all the good qualities of basketball players,
Right.
from big guys to point guards to swing men. There's players to be checked out.
Yeah, we probably could support at minimum 2 teams if it really made sense.
I hope somebody from the G League is watching this.
I would agree. There's
Yeah.
opportunity there
Yeah.
for sure.
We're bringing some talent this year. Whether depending on what sanctioning body that this organization is going to be playing in, we're bringing some talented basketball players this year. If we're not competitive, then I think we might want to retire this program. But I have a feeling we're going to be pretty damn competitive.
I mean, look, I say it not just because I work for you guys and I enjoy doing the games thoroughly and every opportunity you guys have presented to me, but I don't see other teams around the area, let alone some of these leagues, that are as invested as you guys are. I mean, it's just a fact. I think it's more than just cutting a check, but that we do know you guys do on a daily basis, it seems, right?
Definitely the most exciting part of what we do, no question.
Yeah.
But no, I think the reality is basketball brought Richie and I and Gary and Adam together, and adding Chris to that family at this point, and the way we're kind of building out with Randy and Steve as the head of our player personnel, and obviously all the support you've given us, and transitioning into interns and our marketing team.
Yeah.
Like, we feel very good about what we're building, where we're going with it, and the reality of where we want to win, and that's everywhere.
At the same time, we might be owners of the team, but don't leave us open in the corner. Don't.
Well, I mean, listen,
Don't leave us
EG
open
for
in the
3.
corner.
We know.
That's
I mean,
right.
I know that story by, I don't want to say ad nauseum right now, but I know, he can knock down the wide open shot from the perimeter, right? Maybe a one-day contract here, get him on the cheap. Who knows?
I'm sure Rich will let me do that for a big enough sponsorship. So.
I did actually play him during the summer this year on the outdoor courts, and I think he came out of the game with like 37
That's
points.
not bad. That's not bad. That's not
Don't
bad.
look at the lines for that, for sure.
No.
Yeah.
And you probably slept well that night too, right?
I'm still sleeping well from that night.
Lastly, and appreciate it as always, we talk about division and kind of thinking outside the box, and I know there's certain things we can't disclose on the air during the podcast for kind of what we're looking to do future-wise, but I feel as though you guys are comfortable, well, I think you have to be, with taking risk and thinking outside the box. Is that just a product of when you guys were younger, and then as you kind of grew and matured a little bit and started to take on your own responsibilities with your successful businesses? Like, where does that, hey man, we're not going for the base hit. We're swinging for the fences. Where did that kind of mindset come from?
I mean, I think I can answer for both of us, but I'll let Richie answer when I'm done. But I think the reality is that from the business mindset, Rich has been in business 25 plus years, same with me, at this point of where we're at, that we understand where we want to go, what that looks like. So when we're going into a new venture, we're shooting for the stars, right? So it's either we're all in or we're out.
I'm going to talk on behalf of me and Gary as well, but everything we've done is considered a long-term investment. We don't look for any quick return on anything that we put our hands on. So everything I've done so far, it's just like sit back and water the plant and hope it grows. And that's exactly my mindset with the breaks, right? I just happen to also love basketball. Yeah. I grew up watching basketball. I mean, to this day, I'm still I'm a diehard. Like, whether I'm at a Knicks game, a Monmouth game, a Seton Hall game, a Princeton game, you're going to find me at one of them. And if not, I'll be at the AAU tournament.
Right.
Which I just found out recently. They're holding a lot of AAU tournaments in Atlantic City. I think that me and you can work that out.
We could talk about that for
But-
sure.
To
Hit
go
up Q
back-
down south too.
So, it's a long-term investment. It's a plant. I want to keep watering it, and I think we have. If anything's right about this whole situation, it's the fact that I know I have the right guys on my team.
I couldn't agree more.
Absolutely. I know he's all in because after the tryout, he's like, yeah, come to lunch with me and my family, hang out for a little bit. And I mentioned there's a new show out called Everything on the Menu. What does he do? He pretty much ordered everything on the menu for everyone.
It's hard not to at Bamboo Leaf.
I mean,
so.
it was wonderful. Yeah, the food was,
Yeah,
oh my
that's
God, the
where we're
food was fantastic. But
CRT?
Oh yeah.
I didn't want to be like, too aggressive, and I was like, I'll just pick a little bit. But then all of a sudden, I kept seeing plate after plate, and I'm like, all right, this guy's all in. I was like, do I need, when the check comes, should I just excuse myself, go to the men's room real quick? Who's going to handle this check?
That's all my nephews, Hudson and Austin, picked up that bill.
Yeah.
They have great taste.
Great restaurant, by the way. Yeah, long-term investment. Yeah. I hope that in 3 or 4 years, we've sent someone to the G League, if not the NBA. I hope that everybody receives the proper exposure. That if you play on our team, we're not going to slack on getting you exposure. Yeah. So you're going to have plenty of content, right? So first and foremost, like every new basketball player, it's almost like, oh, how good is he at basketball? Well, people want to know how many followers he has on Instagram. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's just
right?
the social media world we live in.
I like basketball players, but I also like the social media aspect.
Yeah, sure.
But if you have a presence on social media and you're a basketball player and you play at the caliber that we need you to play, we're a perfect platform for you to play basketball.
All right, we have another trial coming up. Then obviously we'll see what happens after that. Then training camp's going to be right around the corner. Season 2 starts in March. JerseyShoreBreaks.com, by the way, theJerseyShoreBreaks.com, IG, and the website. Anything you want to add before I let you get out of here? Besides the shameless plug. There you go. Get ready with Drink 3 Brooks Bourbon. There you go.
Yeah,
like today.
Lastly, to also, we are in the process. We've just opened up our options for sponsorships. I feel very good about what we are going to bring to the table. I would love the opportunity if people are interested to have that conversation, because I believe we are going to deliver and then some on our promises and what we have. And we're also, portions of our proceeds, like I said, are going to go back to our community partners. So any way we can help support the community, drive business, promote business, and then transition that to obviously supporting these nonprofits for all the right reasons. So thank you.
Perfect.
Guys.
Excellent stuff. Way to start things off, guys. I appreciate it greatly.
It was fun.
Appreciate it,
brother.
You know what? I would say, brought to you by, but you guys already know what it's brought to you by. All right, so good stuff from the gang, and we always appreciate Rich and Eric joining me for a couple moments. We mentioned some of the community partners that are going to be coming in. Carolyn Borelli, Gina Rivera. I know Carolyn's going to have a seat next to me. Gina, we're going to plop you over there. Our very good friends from CVR, Center for Vocational Rehab. And I had the pleasure, Maria sat in the last time, and I love what you guys are doing. I'll start off. I was curious. This came about because you guys are basically giving back to community, but you're helping individuals with disabilities, vocational training. I mean, how rewarding.
It's very rewarding, right? It's why we do it, because it's rewarding, and in a selfish way we do it because we like to help people. And it's great when you have someone who is either new to the workforce or coming back to the workforce, and to help them achieve success and independence. That's the goal, is being independent, right? We want these people to be independent in the community, and when they reach that point, it's very rewarding for them because they're independent, and for us because we supported their journey. So it is a very rewarding career.
How's the community? I mean, the support and the backing of the community. I mean, it's got to help you guys tremendously, yes?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the local businesses that we work with are fantastic. When they give them a chance to show their work ethic and just how much they want to put forward, they realize themselves, this is the best choice I ever could have made, because I have somebody who really wants to work hard and who really wants to help me promote my business. So
I feel, though, there's always like this stigma, right, when you're dealing with either inner city kids or kids with maybe some disabilities, or maybe, I don't even like to say socially awkward, like everyone has struggles in life, right? But I feel as though you guys have kind of squashed it, where not only are they learning skills that can be applied in the job, but we're talking life skills as well.
Yes, life skills. So that's part of our conversation on the daily. It's some things that we incorporate in our building. We have groups where we teach our people. Like you said, they're diverse abilities. That's how we would describe it. We teach them life skills in house. They're learning ways how to cope with stress. Mental health, physical health, all that. And then Gina and I we run the high school internship program, which basically is a state-funded program for high school students with IEPs and 504s.
Okay.
So that's for people that don't know, it's the special ed, right?
Yep.
And we go through all those skills with them. What do you need to know to go out into the working world?
Right.
Interviewing, dress code, social media do's and don'ts are really big for the teenagers. And we teach them all those skills. And then when we place them in the community, and our supporters, well, the local businesses, find out that these kids are really good kids, and they want to work. They, more so than maybe an average teenager, So
Or even some adults, honestly.
You have to pry the phone away from their hands.
We work side by side with them, and it's fun to watch them grow.
Yes.
And mature and get to that level of independence, and then quite often they get hired after the internship.
And that's paying it forward, but that's got to be the most rewarding.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, where you're
hired,
kind of setting them
absolutely.
up and they can succeed.
Yes,
Now, you mentioned when we were talking a little bit, you have the paid internships, Career Academy, the fundraiser coming up. Talk a little bit about the paid internships and what you guys the message you want to convey a little bit, what you're trying to push.
So the paid internship, again, it's funded, state funded by a grant, okay? And the students that we place get paid a very generous salary for 150 hours.
Okay.
Okay, somewhere in the community. Like I might, I have several places in Belmar we use. For example, they could come here and be a busser or whatever job might be available with their skill level. And they get through their 150 hours. And then we do a post experience. We make sure they have a resume ready to go. We make sure we revisit the interview skills for your next job and so forth. And how to navigate scenarios in the workplace, angry customers, unkind managers, things like that. So they're ready to take that leap when they graduate high school. They can be on their own. They know how to handle these situations on their own. So that's, we are currently working. We service Monmouth, Middlesex right now. So we have I have right now every school from Manasquan to Shore Regional,
Okay.
all the high schools. So,
And you guys are 501c?
we're a 501c, yes. We are.
Has it been challenging to get support at times, though?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We rely on funding from the state
Yeah.
or funding from private donors and private donations. We do fundraisers. So we rely heavily on fundraising. If you happen to check our website, there is a Donate Now button on the website. Anytime you want to donate, you could just click, put in your credit card information, and it could be anything.
It adds up.
It could be $5,
It all adds up.
$20, whatever. Like you said, it all adds up. So we always try to promote that we're always fundraising. Even though we have major fundraisers throughout the year, we're always constantly,
And you have the fall one coming up as well, right?
So we had a casino night that usually comes in the fall. That was discontinued for this year because it's been so difficult getting funding, getting items and donations for the fundraiser.
Okay.
So we're focusing heavily now on our spring fundraiser, which is a golf outing at Jumping Brook Golf Course, June 1st, first Monday of June. And we will have a nice showing at the outing. We get a couple of prizes at the outing to raffle off, some foursomes. And that's our big one for the coming year coming up.
And I'm curious, real quick, before I let you guys go, just both of you respectively, your background, is this something that you've always wanted to do? Or is it kind of like I was going down a street and then made a right hand?
Yes, I happily fell into it. I was I was in Kane University about 10 years ago going to school for phys ed.
Okay.
Phys ed. And I kind of went sideways And I was working while I was in school as a job coach for another school. And I would bring my students to the Career Academy at CVR, which is where the students go and learn work skills, stocking, folding clothing, all different types of jobs that you would see in your community. So I would bring the students there, and I got to know Maria and the other staff. And when it was time for me to move on, I said, hey, you need a job coach? And she said, yeah. And I've been here 7 years almost.
That's not
Yeah.
bad.
And Gina
What about you,
happily
Gina?
just came aboard.
I actually have a background in criminal justice and anthropology and sociology. But I've been working with disabled folks since I was 16 years old, my first ever job, and I just have always loved their energy and their determination to be the best person that they can possibly be. And I think that we could all learn a thing or two from just how they operate, how they live life. Like, we could all live life a lot fuller if we could follow them, you know?
No, that's absolutely well said. It's listen, when you can help like that and you pay it forward, you get it back tenfold. You know, I kind of say it's like almost God's work, because you have to have patience, but you have to be passionate about it, and you have to understand that it's, you know, you're helping where others would dismiss or not help, if that makes sense.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
to me, I think
Absolutely.
that's got to be rewarded. Did you guys want to push the website contact? I know you mentioned, click on the website, you get to donate.
So the website is www.cvrus.org.
Okay.
cvrus.org. You can go to the fundraising page, and that's where you will find the golf outing information. Everyone is welcome. You don't have to be a part of the CVR family. You come to the outing, you're automatically part of the family. So the community at large is invited to come play a round of golf. It's you get there's a complimentary breakfast, a really nice luncheon, and prizes get raffled off, 50/50s get raffled off, and it's really a fun day out on the golf course. And yeah, you could come with your own foursome, or if you don't have a foursome, we would pair you up with other golfers.
Well, I know I speak for the team, the Breaks. We're very proud and honored to partner up with you guys. That means we got to get you guys out in March for a game.
Okay.
Or several games, or 3 or 4
Looking
games.
forward to it. Yeah,
I got to push product too, right? When I'm on the air. So, all right, I will let you both get out of here. I appreciate it greatly so
Thank
much,
you for
guys.
having us.
Oh,
Thank
it's
you
my
so much for
pleasure.
having
Thank you
us.
so much,
Take care.
guys.
Bye.
Thank you. All right, that's great stuff. So again, this is what we're doing, right? We have these community partners. They come in, they come out. What we do with the Jersey Shore Breaks, we partner up with a lot of the community partners, and again, we're trying to help not only the community, but get everyone engaged. So we'll keep it rolling along as well. And I think Jill's going to join us right now, and she is. Jill's all the way over under the table from lunch break. No, you're fine. You can stay there, Jill. I appreciate a couple moments. You are Director of Development, correct?
Yes.
All right, so walk me through a little bit, lunch break. It's nonprofit.
Right.
Obviously, well-entrenched in the community. Give me kind of like the meat and potatoes. Do you guys provide food, clothing?
Right.
Talk a little bit about that,
Right.
Jill.
Okay. So Lunch Break started in 1982 as a soup kitchen. A group of women in Red Bank recognized the need for food. There was a hunger crisis going on. And so they started serving sandwiches in the basement of a church.
Wow.
And then that kind of evolved into also providing groceries, and then they moved into a building. And so 42 years later, we're now basically a community service organization.
That's amazing.
So we have over 20 different programs now, in addition to the pantry and our community dining room. And the impetus behind all of the growing and reaching is because you can't just give somebody a bag of groceries and expect that that's going to change their lives. And most of the folks that are coming to us are either living in poverty or on the edge of poverty, and they're working, but they just can't make ends meet. So, the idea is that we're helping where we can, and with our other wraparound programs, we're helping them to get on their feet and hopefully become independent and not entrenched in the struggle of living in poverty.
Listen, in today's climate, it's very hard. I mean, it is a daily grind for some people.
Yeah.
I'm wondering. People are it's just human. We're very prideful.
Right.
Do you find that some, they need the help, but they're reluctant to ask for the help?
Lunch Break has been around for so long, and just by word of mouth, people know they can trust us. And, we treat everybody with dignity and respect. People can come into our community kitchen, no questions asked. Honestly, everybody that works there is very open and compassionate. You wouldn't be working there if you weren't.
You have to have a certain type of decorum, personality, and
absolutely.
empathy and sympathy
Yeah,
and understanding,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. And empathy is a good word because empathy empowers people, and so when we see folks that are really down on their luck, it could be anybody. It could be you, and to judge someone who's going through something that was not of their own making, they're just dealing daily with issues. You have to reach out a hand and lift them up. It's not a handout, it's a hand up.
Yeah, that's. I hear that phrase, and I use that phrase a lot.
Yeah.
When I speak to people, because I've done some stuff in the communities in Camden, in Atlantic City over the years, and just even a voluntary, a couple hours here and there to volunteer, it makes all the difference in the world. It's extremely rewarding, but it also puts in perspective that you might have a bad day, but it kind of pales in comparison to what a lot of people are dealing with.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Now, you guys, nonprofit, is it tough? I mean, you said 40-something years, so you guys have been doing a hell of a job sustaining it, but are there challenges?
Yeah, I mean, we went through the pandemic. That was a big challenge, too. Kind of kept our services going, though, and we were lucky that a lot of people realized a lot of people were going to be hurt by that, so, we came through that. The next big thing that we're seeing is, the furlough and the government not up and running.
Brutal.
So,
it's brutal.
Next week, all of the SNAP benefits are going to go away.
Yep.
For in the state of New Jersey for over 800 people, and then in Monmouth and Ocean County, it's going to be about 90,000 people are going to lose their SNAP benefits. So, SNAP is Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, and we are going to see more and more people coming to lunch break because they're just going to lose those benefits.
Yeah.
So we're getting a little nervous about it. Our shelves are stocked. We're prepared to do what we need to do to keep people fed. We would never close down. So we'll be there for folks who need us.
I mean, think about it. You said this was several women started this 42 years ago, making sandwiches in a church.
Yep.
So that tells me, all right, sustainability, you guys you're not shutting down. You wouldn't go away quietly.
Right.
What if people want to get involved and donate? Website, any contact information you like to provide?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can go to our website. That's where we have all the information there in terms of supporting by doing food drives, donating food, donating money. We're also heavily dependent on volunteers.
Okay.
So we have a 24,000 square foot building. We have 30 employees. Some are part-time. But annually, we have about 2,000 volunteers that come through because we would not be able to maintain the services without them.
Now, I don't want to cut you off with that. Is there a screening process you vet with volunteers, or is that, hey, I'm going to come in for a couple hours and help out?
Yeah, so basically, when you go online to our website, there's a drop-down for volunteers. And you just click that. You can fill out the application online, and then our volunteer coordinator reaches out. And you can work in the kitchen, you can serve food, you can work in the pantry and help people grocery shop. You can work in the warehouse and stock and sort food. We have people down in our clothing closet. Literally in the day, we probably have anywhere from 60 to 70 volunteers.
Fantastic.
And we could never do it without our volunteers.
Yeah.
Never.
It's kind of like the lifeblood, the heartbeat of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, listen, I think any entity or nonprofit that helps the community and puts clothing on people's back and feeds them, like I was just saying before with CVR and a lot of the partners that we have, that's doing God's work, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And
It's
that's
got to be very rewarding for you too.
Yeah, it is. It's very rewarding. And the one thing that I really love about lunch break is that it's so grassroots. Whatever comes in our doors goes right to the people that we serve. And, you know, we're never going to, unfortunately, put ourselves out of business, I don't think. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, right? But just knowing that, you know, we're making a difference and impacting people's lives and helping people really get ahead and have a brighter future. Yeah, that's what brings me back every day.
Yeah.
So.
And then lastly, again, just one more time, if you wanted to push any contact or website or social media where people can follow.
Yeah, so you just go to, you know, lunchbreak.org online, and if you want to volunteer, there's the volunteer drop down. You can do that, and you can also contact me directly. You know, I'm on there with my email and my phone number.
Perfect.
So we'd
All
love
right.
to have anybody reach out and get involved and help us just, you know, keep the community healthy.
Well, we appreciate everything you guys are doing. We appreciate you also being a community partner of the Jersey Shore Breaks.
Yes,
I
we're
appreciate
very
it greatly.
excited.
Thank you, Jill.
All right, thank you.
All right, my pleasure. All right, so as we mentioned, guys, you know, we got a lot of community partners coming in and coming out and doing some wonderful, wonderful work. And that's really what it's all about ultimately, right? I mean, they're piecing together the product on the floor, but we also want to get the community entrenched as well. Again, at Joe's, running with the breaks with Q. Rich Quinones here, voice of the Jersey Shore Breaks. I know we are going to get another guest coming up. Everyone's just, see, this is what happens. I'm on the air. I'm doing God's like work right now, and everyone's drinking and eating and having fun. Yeah, why not? We'll get Casey up here for a couple moments.
How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. How
Great
are
to
you?
see you. I'm doing great myself.
All right. Well, let's get right into it. Casey Pioli, Director of Ops, Monmouth Park Charity Fund. Now that's a
sir.
distinguished title.
Yes. So we're actually a nonprofit that raises funds and distributes to local other nonprofits in Monmouth County. Those related to health, the most in-need services all throughout the county itself.
Okay.
So it's a really, really rewarding foundation to work for.
I was doing a little research, and it's amazing, too, because Monmouth Park is historic.
Yes.
And it almost closed back in 46.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And I wrote
Yep.
down the gentleman's name. I think it was Haskell.
Yes.
Amory Haskell basically brought life back into it. And it's a world renowned. So, like, attaching yourself
Yes.
with that is...
Exactly, and that's actually how our foundation really started, which was called the Charity Ball Ladies, right?
Okay.
So Mr. Haskell's daughter is one of our founding Charity Ball Ladies, and what they did was they saw that Monmouth Park was going to shut down, so they wanted to raise funds to really show what this community could build. And then from there, it ended up being called the Monmouth Park Charity Fund.
That's amazing.
So that way we can then give back to the community we work and live in.
So you guys obviously have, you know, your quote signature fundraisers, right?
Correct,
I mean, everyone
correct.
was dressed to the nine with the
Yep,
Kentucky Derby and everything.
you got it, yeah.
Talk a little bit about that and what's, you know, kind of the idea behind that.
Perfect. Yeah. So, of course, our big signature fundraisers are Kentucky Derby celebration. So that's almost like our annual gala, if you want to call it. We have over 400 guests. We always have an honoree. So this year, our honoree was Robert C. Garrett of Hackensack Meridian Health. And we bring in a lot of folks. We have different auctions, you know, silent chants. We have a mint julep station.
I was about to just ask you.
I was going to say, Dan, you know who was our mint julep sponsor this year. So it was really a great time, and we ended up having our most successful fundraiser. Almost $600,000 this year was raised, and all of that goes again right back into the community to our other nonprofits in the town, in the county.
Do you feel that now, the way the climate is, you get more inquiries to assist if people are looking for fundraisers?
So, you know what I've realized? So I actually started as Director of Operations this January. So I am just coming up on my first full year with the
Wow.
organization. But I have to let you know, we have seen an absolute increase in looking for funding. There's a lot of government funding that's being cut, so they look to us because we actually are privately donated to. So it's private organizations or individual donors.
Okay.
So everybody has been coming to us, you know, expressing that concern.
So you have various grant programs, right? You have
Correct.
kind of legacy grants, different tier grants.
Yeah, I can walk you through just very briefly. So our absolute number one is our traditional legacy grant, and that is our grant program that actually this year we just allocated over $206,000 across over 60 nonprofit organizations. So basically what they're smaller amounts, but that's our foundational grant. Then we also have our Winner's Circle grant application, which is the transformational grant. So we really want to make sure that, organizations are bringing something very transformational to the community and life. So we actually gave to Parker Family Health Center, who actually did their first ever free dental clinic for those who are uninsured. So they won that. That's going to be really transformational for this community, especially in Monmouth County. And then lastly, we also have our Accomplish More Together grant, and that we do with New Jersey Natural Gas. And it's a match grant, so $15,000 from each organization, and then we give $10,000 to 3 different organizations. They have to partner together for a program that's really going to make a difference in the lives of those that they serve.
Now, we have our good friend Nicole from Fortune Title and also Fighting Children's Cancer Foundation.
We do.
So you guys also helped them out and assisted them.
Absolutely. And I think that that's such a great part of what the Jersey Breaks is doing as well, is they're bringing all of these different organizations together. And that's sort of what we do, right? We really want to give funding out to those who need it the most. I mean, some of the most basic needs like food, but there's also healthcare, it's everything that's really, really needed the most right now.
Is this your background? Because I was doing research and now, did you do anything with the Philadelphia Soul?
So I actually didn't do anything with the Philadelphia Soul myself, but that is how the JBJ Soul Foundation was formed. Yeah, so Mr. Bon Jovi himself, when the team actually folded, he wanted to give back to the community. And I was brought in as their very first marketing and program manager, which was like a really, really cool and pivotal experience for me, because I was able to rebrand their website and rebrand them as a complete establishment, JBJ Soul Kitchen as well. And that really got my talking to, my thinking into, nonprofits.
So funny little side note on John Bon Jovi.
I love it.
I cut my teeth at a very small AM brokerage station in South Jersey, 1360 WNJC.
Nice, yep.
We aired his games because my friends did PR for the Soul. And then when I transitioned to do more radio on the air, and I was with a Fox Sports affiliate in Delaware, I said, hey man, can you get, Bon Jovi to call into my show for a minute? And he's like, not happening. I was like,
not gonna happen.
Just get him for a couple. And finally, I'm on the air, and my producer's like, yo, take the call. And he's like, it's John Bon Jovi. And I was like, is this John Bon Jovi? He's like, Rich, what's going on? And I said, really? And he's like, forgive me, man, I'm on the treadmill in Tennessee right now, but I wanted to give you a call. Like, it was crazy. And he stayed on the air for like 25 minutes with me. It was, it just shows the type of guy that he is, because he is so into the community. But the fact that he's calling on the treadmill, I was like, that's crazy.
You were probably like, I can't believe that. I can't believe it's you.
I couldn't even believe it.
No, he's extremely philanthropic, and it was such an honor to work for them. And I was able to actually, transition my experiences into Monmouth Park Charity Fund as well, and help even more organizations like them,
Are you a sports fan?
So I am. I'm a big sports.
Well, there's a caveat.
I'm the classic, like, the girl. Like, I'll watch sports with you.
What are the
like
teams? We need to know what your teams are.
All right, my teams.
Now, be careful now. You got to recognize, where you're at right now.
I know. Well, you're not going to like my football selection whatsoever.
If it's the Philadelphia Eagles, we're going to have to just...
No,
all right, then you're fine.
It's even worse. It's the Jets. So
that's okay.
We know how they're doing right now.
We don't worry about that.
So that's my football team, yeah.
All right, we don't have to worry about that. Well, we're definitely going to get you guys to come out for a game. If anyone wants to, check out the website, social media, anything... fire away.
Yeah, absolutely. So please go to MP, like Monmouth Park, charityfund.org. Feel free to email us at admin@mpcharityfund.org, and I will be able to, get all your inquiries, be able to, you can donate right there on the page itself, and, we're really looking forward to this partnership with you all.
Now, were you donning the hats during... the Kentucky Derby?
Oh, we dress to the nines, theme and all.
You played the part?
I had my hat, I had my dress on, you betcha. Oh yeah. So I hope that you're going to be out there with us next year.
I mean,
I'd really like to have you.
know, they say I clean up okay in a suit. We'll have to figure it out.
All right.
We'll have to make that. We'll have to definitely. We'll game plan with the guys. That would be awesome. We're definitely happy that we partner up with you guys, and you guys are doing wonderful stuff. I appreciate a couple moments.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right, there you have it. So that's great stuff. This is what we do when we do the podcast, and we hang out at Joe's. I mean, that's pretty awesome. And I saw the photos that Monmouth Park had, the charity fund. It was unbelievable. I mean, they look like they were like dressing the part.
Here or there?
Yeah. Last but not,
Hi,
well, almost second last but not least, our good friend Nicole Timpanero. And we know you rep Fortune, but this is the perfect segue. Fighting Children's Cancer Foundation. Obviously, we just had Casey on, gave us some great information. And I know the last time, I love when you come on the air because we have such a ball. But I just love what you guys are doing. Kind of for the new listeners, walk us through Fighting Children's Cancer Foundation.
So quick shout out to Monmouth Park Charity Fund because
I threw it in there for you,
Okay,
kiddo.
they did.
I threw it in there.
we got
Yes,
a grant
I
from
threw it
them,
in there for
and
you.
It's like so huge. So
Yes.
we're Fighting Children's Cancer Foundation is a charity that supports any family that has a child living in New Jersey that is undergoing treatment. And what most people don't realize is regardless of that family's financial situation before cancer, once cancer hits, you have a parent that needs to be home full-time with the child. You have additional medical costs. You have additional travel costs. The financial strain is real. So we provide financial assistance to those families. And in addition, we also do events throughout the year to try to get them out of that routine that they're in and interact with other families so they have a community of people that are also going through the same thing. And it's my passion. I've been doing it for the last 8-9 years. And it's really great work.
I know this is something we talked about the last time. Like, you talk to anyone, and no matter what, they've been touched in some way, shape, or form with cancer. I mean, I know personally in my family, and sometimes you even talk about it. I don't like to talk about it because I've lost a lot of people close to me. But I can't imagine a child. And I volunteered years ago at Ronald McDonald's house in CHOP, and just the strength that these little kids have. I'm like, oh my God, I'm never going to complain another day. Smiling. And I'm like, my God, they have like warrior spirit.
These kids are so inspiring. They are amazing. So one year we did like a big kind of Christmas holiday party for the kids, and we had all different tables set up that they could come to. So they could make cookies, they could make ornaments, they could decorate things, they could color, like all different activities. And we had a table of ornaments that Fortune Title had sponsored for Fighting Children's Cancer. And I remember this kid comes up, and this little kid is wheeled up in a wheelchair and has the oxygen, no hair. You could tell this kid is going through it. And this kid has an ear-to-ear smile
it's
on his
amazing.
face. It's like he's not even going through anything. And I don't know if it's because they don't really know any different because they're so young.
Yeah.
But they are true warriors.
Yeah.
And they do it with such positivity, and their spirit is so strong, you can't not be inspired by them. And thankfully, most of our donations go to helping the families get through the treatment. Every now and then, our donations go through funeral expenses, and that's like the harder side of the coin to deal with. But we're a growing foundation, and we're trying so hard to get to the next level because the need is just getting greater, especially because like the need overall for everybody is getting greater. So we're trying, and our annual gala, which is our biggest fundraiser of the year.
That was going to be my segue.
I'm going to spotlight that. Is November 18th, guys. It's a Tuesday night. Bring all your business buddies. We've got a DJ. We're going to be dancing. We have a silent auction.
Where is that going to be?
This is at the Crystal Plaza in Livingston. So it's a northern New Jersey event. We have a lucky cork where you pay $50 and you get a bottle of wine that's worth anywhere from like $25 to $100 plus. So, if you're lucky, you get a bottle around $100. And it's just a lot of fun, and we have 3 tables worth of families. So you get to meet some of the families that we help. You get to meet the kids. They'll also be like dancing on the dance floor and talking to the audience throughout the night as well. So it's a really fun night, and it's a really meaningful cause. So
Well,
I encourage you to give me all your money.
I was going to say that's another segue into that. No, I love what you do. You're so passionate and lively, and just like all heart. I mean, I know when we were setting up, you were coming over here making sure everything was in order.
Oh, because I'm a psycho.
Yeah,
like
no,
everything has to look perfect.
no. That's just being all in, heavily invested. Is there a website, anything you wanted to push before I let you get out of here?
So our website is fccf.info. There's an events section where you can see all of our upcoming events. Our gala's on there, and you can get information about sponsorships. You could even just do an ad. We run digital ads all throughout the night. So if you can't attend and you want to support in another way, there are so many different ways to support. And what also means a lot to us is if you do just a small recurring donation every month.
Okay.
We're starting a new campaign called Skip a Cup, Help a Kid. So skip a cup of coffee once a month and donate $5 to my kids.
That's not
And
bad.
it will make all the difference in the world to these families.
All right. Well, we are definitely going to convey that. It's always good to see you.
Thank you.
Always.
You too.
I love, next time when we have more time, we got to get in our movie talk and our TV talk and shows and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that, our different genres. We'll have to say that for another day,
Yeah.
But I always appreciate you coming on
Thank
board for a
you.
couple of minutes.
Thank
All right.
you.
All right. So what we're going to do, I know that we got a couple more guests. Just a reminder, you can check us out on our social media platforms as well. TheJerseyShoreBreaks.com, The Jersey Shore Breaks on IG, at The JS Breaks on X. I think we're going to get our guy. Who are we going to get? I mean, look at this. We get the birthday boy just strolling in. No. Where are you going to sit next to me? Where are you going to come? Where are you going to come from? My man, the all-star, the face of the friend. You want me to keep this over where you are?
Bree Brooks, yeah.
My man, Chris Smith. What's going on, brother? How are you?
I can't complain, man. Life is good.
Yeah, you look good. You look spry.
Trying, man.
I mean, let's just walk through over what's transpired over the last several weeks for you, right? You had a birthday.
Yep.
So you turned another year younger. You were out there sweating it up with the young bucks during tryouts. And then what's this other? I see this post on IG. I mean, obviously it's public knowledge right now.
Right.
You're spoken for. An honest man getting engaged and everything.
Got engaged, trying to live righteous, man. Trying to live the right way. Just trying to live the right way.
Hey, listen, that's you got to do what I did, man. It took about 15 years of Sundays in church. And still when they tried to give me the blessing, I stuck my finger in the holy water. Sometimes it lit up, brother. Congratulations on that, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so I know we got you for a little bit. Got another tryout coming in. I tell you, man, you mentioned this the last time we spoke during the pod that, the roster is going to be very, very different. And the way it's kind of shaping out, now obviously the roster hasn't been set, but if you go by the tryouts, it's going to be a lot of different faces in season number 2. Is that a challenge that you embrace, or do you also believe there's going to be some learning curve with that?
I think we had our learning curve last season. I think we had our learning curve over the summer. I think we eliminated what we don't want and what we want to become. I think as a group and as a whole of ownership and captains and, player personnel, as far as our development crew within ourselves, I think we kind of figure out what we want and what we don't want. And so, like I said, the faces are definitely going to be different.
Yeah.
You might have three guys from the team last year.
Yeah. Which is really interesting because, there were 2 players, obviously, one being you and another. You played in every game last season. Then, obviously, Lions missed 1, but that was kind of the core, if you will. I know that without disclosing stuff, it's almost as though, hey, no position is set, right? So you got to come out, you got to try out. I know we have obviously this weekend coming up, and then try to cut down that number, maybe something in November. But is that I guess that's a good problem to have, right? Because I know when we communicate or we have our meetings with, the ownership group, you included, obviously, in ownership, it's like, all right, you want to check off certain guys, but then, we're kind of going back and forth, and that's your guys' wheelhouse, and Steve and Coach Randy, but that's not a bad problem to have where you're trying to figure out, who you guys want going forward.
Right. We're trying to bring in the best roster and the best people as possible.
Yeah.
If you're not, we've had certain situations come upon us where it just wasn't a good people-person decision for our team. So we're going with quality, not quantity this year. And we're going with who wants to be around, not just who we want, who actually wants to be around.
Look, we know obviously you played at such a high level last year. You played a lot of minutes. In a perfect world for you, I know you're a competitor. I know you want to be out there, 35 plus minutes, but in a perfect scenario for you, would it be beneficial if, you knew that, hey, we got a pretty sound bench. I don't need to play close to 40 minutes a night, right? I can give myself a little bit of rest, middle of the season, late in the season for a potential playoff push? Or is the competitor in you's like, no, man, I want to be out on the floor as much as I possibly can? Because you put up staggering numbers last year. I mean, you had the run when you were scoring 30, 33, 34, 5, 6, 7 straight games. You averaged close to a triple-double, easy all-star. I think if the team would have won at least 10, 11 games and made the playoffs, you could have made a strong case for MVP of the league. And again, I'm not saying this because you're sitting next to me and we're friends. It's just what I saw. But perfect scenario, what do you envision for yourself next year?
Honestly, at this point, after working out with the guys last week, that inspired me to work out last night.
I said this to someone. I'm just going to say, I said this to someone. I said, I'm telling you right now, he is going to be a dog. I guarantee you. He watched that tryout. He was there, and I literally said he's probably going to come in the best shape of his life.
Yeah, I didn't really like what was going on. And for myself, I'm starting to work out earlier than I did last year. Last year, I worked out within the season. This year, I'm working out earlier. So, I mean, you could do the math on the numbers.
Right. Well, did you find, though, as the season wore on, you were playing yourself in shape? Does that make sense?
Yep, I was. Because if you think about the first game since we started, I had like 11 points the first game, right? Then the second game was like 15. Then it was like, okay, he might have hit a little groove. I had like 18, and then 18 went to 20. 20 went to 25, then 30. So as the season went on, I got in better shape. But this year I went to the restoration shop, and I'm getting even more of a tune-up.
Yes.
So that tune-up comes 25 pounds lighter.
Wow. And again, you get to a point, you've been playing sports your entire life, right? So, I mean, we've all got to the point where the heart is saying, man, I want to keep going, right? And the mind saying, I can keep going this. But the body doesn't want to catch up. So I kind of look at, take a player like Coles, right, JC?
Yeah.
Came right off the sofa but contributed. Now he's been working out. We're not going to show the hand when it comes to the team itself, but I feel as though you got the veteran, you got your backcourt potential running mate, right? And then you can kind of build around that, right? Now, I also think because of your stature, your standing, and your age and your experience, there's going to be a time where some of these young guys, you got to mentor these guys, right? I mean, is that a role that you look forward to?
Yeah, I look forward to that role because it just gives us an aspect of, okay, well, my transition will be even more clear if I continue to have these guys under my wing and in the program, as far as a GM, as far as upper management, as far as lifetime agency work that I've been putting in. So it just gives me an easier route to the connection of the young guys.
Yeah.
You got to stay connected with the youth.
Sure. Well, you're already cultivating those contacts.
Exactly.
You know, because it's funny, when I was talking to some of the young guys that, you know, first time at the tryout, and I said, what'd you think? And the first thing there was like, oh man, playing with Chris Smith. So it's like, yeah, you know, you played with a college standout guy that played in the pros and played overseas, right? So the experience and the lessons you can teach these guys, and I'm sure, listen, we know you're an alpha. We know that. So, I mean, that's not going to change, right?
No.
I mean, not at this stage of your life, right?
No.
So I'm interested to see that balancing act, right? Because there were some other alphas that might be, you know, how do you, you know, kind of set the ego inside and say, hey, you know what I'm saying?
I gave somebody an analogy last night. What's a lime to a lemon?
Yeah.
What's an apple to an orange?
Right.
The difference between a lime and a lemon is you squeeze both of them. Which one gives you more juice? That's the way I look at it. I mean, you leave one out, one dries up. Like I said, I'm aging like fine wine, and
But that's what I wanted to ask you. How long do you envision playing?
Until the wheels fall off. Erik offered me a new pair of sneakers, so I think I might be in good hands.
Is that a write-off?
Right.
I'm excited for this season. You know, we're bleeding into November. We got, you know, potentially training, well, a couple tryouts. Do you foresee by November the roster will be intact? Or is it fluid?
I think guys will weed themselves out throughout the process. And that's pretty straightforward, because there's always the guy who's supposed to be on the team and who's like, well, I got to go here this weekend. I got to go there this weekend. I got to go here that weekend. Well, I got to go a lot of places, but I'm here.
So let's go with that for a second. How do you get, and I know it's not your job, right? It's an organizational, as a whole job, to get guys to really buy in and keep them local per se, but also make them understand you're getting paid to play professional basketball. And look, you got owners that can potentially help you get a job, learn a craft, you know, get employment. Then you've got me, meaning you, where, hey, if you want to go and play overseas, I've got connections. You know, I feel as though the younger guys, and I say with respect to them, they're not thinking long term. They're thinking short bursts.
It's like, how can I make $500 in a month? How can I make $800 in a month? Well, we can show you.
Yeah.
We can show you how to make more money.
Yeah.
But most of the younger generation, they're going to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
That's like, hey, bro, you want to work out tonight and you don't show up? I'm trying to put money in your pocket. You come work out with me, you're guaranteed to get better.
Right.
Hey, bro, you want to go to Joe's Surf Shack this weekend? There's a business event.
Right.
And you don't show up.
Right.
So do you really want money? That's
right.
That's the real question.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
bro, we have a tryout this Saturday, and you come at 10 o'clock. Now you just shot yourself in the foot, because we got the ownership in the stands who own other businesses. Now they're like, okay, this guy's not punctual. He's not on time. He's not serious.
Yeah.
We can't have him around.
I know, you know, last season was very kind of up and down. I equate it to almost like that roller coaster that got stuck at the top and then snapped a losing streak, start to win some games. We've talked about this numerous amount of times. I think the talent that I've seen thus far, you know, obviously some subtractions, maybe a couple additions here and there, but there's a lot of dogs that potentially are going to be on this team, and the good kind of dog. And I just see a ton of athleticism, you know, guys that can lock down defensively, guys that can score. we always talk about this, take the pressure off you, bring the ball up the floor so you can kind of camp your fanny on the low block,
Right.
and that's what you do best. And I think you guys are going to be able to match up pound for pound with some of those teams that have given you fits last season, the Capitals, Virginia, and Frederick.
Yeah, I think this year, like I said before, to kind of be a little different. We got a bunch of lions and not too many lambs.
Yeah.
We got some guys that'll show up and be punctual when we need them to be. If we need a guy to drive the van and I need to take the back seat, that's what we're going to have to do. But, like I said, I don't think those teams that we had problems with last year, meaning the Capitals, the
Cows,
Virginia. Nah, I mean, we beat the Cows when
sure,
it really
sure.
mattered.
And Capital,
Virginia,
games,
okay.
early on. Yeah, I got you.
So we lost a couple to the Capitals early in the year,
Yep.
but now I think the playing field is a little even, but I still think we're better because, our older guards. I'm still good for 35. Cole's still good for 25.
Yeah.
So that's like 60, 70 points right there.
Yeah. I mean, I think the type of style you guys want to get out and push, but I also think once you start locking down these teams defensively, you punch some of these teams in the mouth, let's be honest, they didn't handle it very well.
No.
They didn't like that physicality. They didn't. And now, because it's season 2, refs kind of understand the ebb and flow of how the Jersey Shore Breaks play basketball, so they might not be as loose with the whistle. Let you guys play a little bit, if that makes sense, because let's be honest, the officiating is a little kind of all over the place in a lot of leagues, so I think it didn't help you guys, but I think now okay, we're going to be this physical team that's going to get up and down the floor.
Yeah, a lot of our guys are not spoon-fed, They don't grow up with the silver spoon or gold spoon in their mouth. And a lot of guys are coming hungry, and those are the type of guys we are recruiting and we want. And we want guys who wear boxers, not panties.
I know your cardio is going to be in shape, and we know why. When I hear the
I got the little one who's running a 4.
That's like a
4.2 in the 40.
I was about to say that's like an 8-minute mile. All right, brother. Always appreciate you, man. Hey, man, congratulations on everything, and I wish it was March. And by the way, I saw when you were talking. I saw when you mentioned about, the player and the agency stuff. I kind of saw your eyes wander a little bit, but that we don't want to. We can't peel back the curtain. That's not what we do, man.
Can't roll back the curtain, man.
We can't
My
do
wedding
that.
is in Cartagena, Colombia. You will have an invite.
Oh, I gotta get my passport. I don't know, man. They're gonna let me on. They should be able to let me on.
They gotta let you on the plane.
Is it during the season?
Quiones.
Is it during the season or after the season?
After the season.
All right, brother.
Making
Appreciate
sure
you.
it's after the season. Is
that a 2-day event or like a week?
A weekend event.
All right. We'll work it out. All right, Chris. Appreciate you, brother. All right, my man.
How you doing?
Nithin coming from NR Media. Have a seat right
Thank you
there.
for having
brother.
me.
Look at me, and you dressed the part. That's the thing, man. All right. So you post content after content after, like you are what I like to call the grinder, right? So walk me through, how you came about with the company, and you do so much with social media. I feel like you're in 20 different places in like one day.
Yeah, so first of all, Rich, thank you for having
My
me.
pleasure, my pleasure.
Thank you for
you.
hosting this event with Chris, Eric. Shout out to you guys.
Thank you.
Rich, Jersey Shore Breaks, you guys are unbelievable. And to host it here at Joe's Surf Sack is amazing.
Yeah,
So-
no, it's a great crowd. We've done this multiple times, and I know you are a big time sports fan, man. And you're showing up during the games and practices, tryout, getting content. Where does that passion come from?
So I started my own company 5 years ago during COVID. And when all the sports shut down, all my friends love sports. So I decided to start something like a podcast on Instagram Live. Started taking over like that. And then year 2, I started building a team. I have a team that helps me out with my own company, and
Nice.
yeah, so we started doing in-person events. We do a lot of autograph signings, camps for the kids. We book a lot of marketing events, foundational events. We do everything.
So you've been working with athletes for
oh
a
yeah,
long time.
yeah. So we manage a lot of athletes in different sports like MLB, NBA, NFL. So we do a lot of stuff like that, and I know a lot of agents in this business, and I have 7 mentors in this industry. So it's been a great ride. It's been 5 years now since I've been in this industry. So
It's funny. Everyone kind of decided to pivot a little bit with COVID, right? And I remember when COVID came, I was like, all right, you know what? I used to be a big time memorabilia guy, collectible guy, right?
Yep.
And I've hoarded so much stuff. A lot of it's pristine condition, unopened. So I started to go through all my stuff, clean everything off, still get my PSA graded, all my stuff. And then it kind of took me into another level of, after we got through COVID, with kind of what you were doing. All right, let me start to connect with some of these athletes a little more and get them to do more of these events and kind of tie everything out. And I think you've done that pivot. I love your content. I mean, your page is very active. You're very consistent. It's got to be tiring, though, right?
It is tiring, but it's worth it at the end of the day. I always tell people the money will come. It's all about building relationships and keeping the relationships sustained. So I'm all about chasing relationships and building the right networking and having the right people around me. So I love going to these events and making new friends and bringing people with me to meet the other people. So when I get to these events, it is tiring, but it's a lot of work. But at the end of the day, once you finish it and when you post the content, you feel good about it. And I've been to Super Bowl. I've been to New Orleans this year for Super Bowl week.
Nice.
I've been to Fanatics Fest, so I'm connected with Michael Rubin now and Gary Vee. So I'm connected with all those people. So it's unbelievable experience, and getting invited to all these events is truly remarkable.
Well, you put the time in, and when you work with athletes and you earn their trust, that's first and foremost, right? Because we know they're very territorial.
Yeah.
And you got to kind of weed yourself through the weeds with athletes, and once you endear yourself to them, they'll help you out. Do you find sometimes it's challenging dealing with some of these athletes at events? Or, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I know a lot of them, and I'll say it to their face, a lot of them are prima donnas. You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, that's a good question. We have dealt with some athletes that they don't have a great personality, and you just have to deal with it in a certain way, a different way, and make sure the fans get the most out of it, obviously. And I don't want to mention any names, but a couple of events we had a hard time of finishing the event because some of the players wanted to leave 1 hour before.
Yeah, that's always the case.
Yeah, so I feel bad for the fans, but we got to deal with it and move on to the next one. So.
How can everyone follow you on social, and if they're interested in partnering up or doing any type of marketing efforts with you on social?
So you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're everywhere. So you can find us. You
gotta get the handle.
I know.
Right?
So my Instagram is nrmedia50_. Twitter is nrmedia50. TikTok, Nithin Ramachandra, NR Media. You can find me on Facebook, Nithin Ramachandra, and LinkedIn, Nithin Ramachandra. So go follow us. We got some stuff coming up, and I work for a job at Chamberlain, the former
Sure, nice.
So we got, I work for their show, so I handle all their stuff. So we got some big things coming up over there, and a lot of big events coming up.
Did you happen to stay up for 18 innings last night?
Oh
and
my
watch
God!
That?
Yeah,
Game 3 of the World Series, which was Ohtani to me is the greatest player.
Oh my God!
He's not even generating.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
And he's pitching tonight too.
And Yamamoto wanted to pitch last night, right?
Yeah, Yamamoto. It's unbelievable what the Dodgers have, and we were my friends were live streaming till 3 a.m. because of the 18 innings. So it was crazy.
Yeah, let me tell you, by the 12th inning, I was counting sheep. I just could not. I had all my podcast stuff. I was just counting sheep. I was done. But all right, brother. It's good to see you, man. I always appreciate you. I know we're going to see you throughout the season and during playoffs and everything.
Thank you so much.
Practice. My pleasure, man.
Thank you for
appreciate it. All right, guys. I know we're going to start wrapping it up from Joe's. I believe that's pretty much all the guests. That's not bad. I think sometimes we're making record-breaking time. We get them in, we get them out. The marketing guys have been absolutely fantastic. Don't forget this edition of Running with the Breaks, powered by our good friends over at Get Ready with Tea, Three Brooks Bourbon. We want to thank all of our community partners. Let me run them down before we get out of here. CVR, Fighting Children's Cancer Foundation. We've got Monmouth Park Charity Fund. And I know I'm missing lunch break as well. Appreciate Erik Gaines, Rich Gardella, and of course Chris Smith jumping on board, our guys from NR Media, the marketing guys doing yeoman-like work. As always, follow us on social media. These guys are crushing it on IG. Also, if you guys want to get involved in any type of partnerships, community partners, sponsorships, go to the website, thejerseyshorебreaks.com. As I mentioned, on X at VJS Breaks, on Facebook, also on IG, The Jersey Shore Breaks. But all the media information, the sales information, you'll see my contact, you'll see our email. Get involved. We've got very low-tier packaging, and then we've got some good exclusive naming rights packaging for the broadcast as well. So with that being said, we got a couple more tryouts, then we're going to flip around, and then we're going to have training camp. Season 2 of the Jersey Shore Breaks is going to be upon us. Want to thank all the good folks at Joe's, as always, as I mentioned, all of our guests, the marketing team as well. These guys are fantastic, and of course the ownership group for allowing me to do what I do. As always, thanks for tuning into this edition of Running with the Breaks with Q. We will talk to you next time, courtside.